Hello folks, IPMAT exam. We're going to talk about IPMAT, so Integrated Program in Management. It's a 5-year course, 3 years for an undergraduate, typically BBA, and then 2 years for MBA. And so, beautiful course offered by a bunch of colleges now. IIM Indore was the pioneer. It's a beautiful idea where you say, look, I'm thinking about an MBA eventually, or this is where I'm heading towards. You can gear yourself up for that completely. You can say, look, I'm going to go and do an MBA. I'll do a BBA for 3 years and then do a 2-year MBA. And so, the biggest takeaway for this is that you get yourself seat in a wonderful IIM for doing the MBA ahead of time. It's advanced booking for MBA. And so, what is not really the draw is the BBA, the 3-year course that you're going to do there before the MBA. That's useful, but that's not magically good. You're not going for that 3-year course. You're spending those 3 years in order to be geared for the 2-year MBA course. That's what it is about. Right? IIM Indore was the pioneer. Now a bunch of colleges offer it. Indore and Rohtak have their own exams. JIPMAT is another exam for a bunch of other colleges. Lots of colleges take one or the other of these exams. Right? So, what are these? I'm going to talk about. Look, this is a beautiful exam to take for students who have finished class 12th standard. After you finish, these exams come. And 3 exams: IIM Indore, IIM Rohtak exam, and JIPMAT. All 3 give you access to this integrated IPMAT course, integrated program in management. For that, to a basket of colleges, different exams for different things. The most important, the most prestigious, the most premium college is IIM Indore, and then a bunch of colleges after that. Right? Super. Let's dive deeper into this. The application date opens, and so you should be looking out for that. You should be applying as early as possible. The last day to apply is on. Finish it off. If you this may get extended. If it's extended, finish it off. IPMAT Indore is on the 4th of May. The Rohtak date is likely to be like a week after that, sometime there. JIPMAT also somewhere there in that mix. Okay. What does IPMAT IIM Indore test? Fine. So, excellent paper. There are totally 90 questions. There are 2 sections in Quant and 1 in verbal. 45 questions for verbal. The 2 sections, one has 15 questions, one has 30 questions. And so, what is the difference between these 2? This one has 30 multiple choice questions where you can go from answer choices and mark. This has 15 type in the answer questions where you have to write down a 4 or a 10, not detailed descriptive answers, but you have to, there's no choices. And so, the negative marking for the MCQ sections, no negative marking for this. Typical scoring pattern +3 and -1, +4 and -1, +4 for right answer, -1 for wrong answer among MCQ, no negative marking for the TTA type in the answer question. Right? Rohtak 3 sections, quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, verbal ability, 40 questions. And so, straight away, the first thing to note is this is your tougher exam, better college, and this is the real deal that you have to prepare for aggressively. A simpler exam. If you're a sharp student in class 12, you need to know the game here. Chances are you know most of the framework for attending these questions. You need to get exam ready and be switched on and fine tune some things and pick up some speed and have the stamina and all of that. Okay? For this, the level of knowledge required is higher, and I'm going to go deeper into that. It's higher. This is the math section here is like quantitative aptitude, what we call quantitative aptitude in the B school MBA world. It's like questions on ratios and percentages and permutations and all that. So this involves more heavy duty mathematics. They want to know whether you have they're not checking if you're just numerate. They're checking whether you have sound mathematical knowledge here. The biggest distinction between these 2 papers is the math tested here, tough, properly challenging mathematics gets tested here. This is quantitative aptitude that gets tested here. And so, it's important to know this distinction. If you're prepared for this math, you automatically have this covered. Even without super aggressive preparation, you can turn up and have a go at it. If you've done your class 12 sincerely, you know your basics, you can do maths and you have a comfort over English, then you can have a chance at this. If you're preparing for this, Make sure that you know the exam types, templates of questions, 3 years questions, previous year questions. Know the game and have a go. If you're preparing for this, you need to amp up your knowledge base in mathematics. Keep that in mind. And the colleges that are there, Ranchi, IIT Kakinada, IIM Shillong, Amritsar, Nalsar, so bunch of colleges select based on the Indore exam. The IIM Indore is the primary exam. Lots of these colleges take based on the scores from one or more of the 3 entrance exams. The one from Indore, one from Rohtak, and JIPMAT. Right? So it is, if you're particularly keen on this, you have to write all 3. If you're saying, look, I'm super keen on IIM Indore, but I don't think I'll really go to an IIM Bodh Gaya or an IIT Kakinada, then write only IIM Indore, or write Indore and Rohtak. Plan based on how bought in you are to the idea of doing a 5-year integrated management course. And so, obviously, students who are just out of 12th standard, your understanding or awareness or knowledge of what is an MBA course, what is BBA, what is MBA, it's going to be less. It's completely understandable. Right? I did an MBA, and then till I finished my MBA, I didn't have an idea of what it was. So it's completely understandable. So speak to your parents, speak to somebody who kind of knows what this world is, and then take a decision. I'm assuming parents will have a big role in navigating this stuff. Right? So if you're a student and you're watching this video, please ask your parent also to watch the video. Right? It's a time-bound exam. There is a type in the answer question for Indore only. There's a more aggressive logical reasoning bit for Rohtak. Right? No calculator, and cutoffs keep changing. And the scores get normalized. So you cannot say I'll score in verbal, I don't care about quant. You cannot get through, because the normalization means that your score vis-a-vis the top scores plays a role in arriving at your overall score. And so you cannot say I'll kill one section and waltz through. It doesn't work like that. Having a strong section is super helpful, but you cannot say I'll get all my marks from only here. Does not work like that. Right. Super. What do we do here for the syllabus part of it? Right. So number systems, HCF, LCM, arithmetic, which is percentages and profit and loss, ratios and mixtures and speed, time, distance, races, all of that. And so simple mathematics, but something that you need to keep an eye on, because this can be a huge scoring section in quantitative aptitude exams. Right? So basic algebra, linear and quadratic equations, progressions, logarithms, exponents, all of that come here. Geometry, mensuration, trigonometry, coordinate geometry, they come here. Matrices and trigonometry get tested in the Indore exam. Permutation, combination, probability, set theory, they come here. Right. So what Indore also tests, it tests limits, continuity, differentiability, conic sections, that get added on. Those also feature in the IIM Indore exam. They get deeper into ideas like functions and trigonometry and coordinate geometry than Rohtak. So it's important to keep that in mind. And so the verbal abilities, standard template, reading comprehension, text completion, filling in the blanks, some grammar type questions, mild one layer of vocab linked, how words come in context. I'm not going to ask you meanings of words, but how words come in context, that's going to come, and para jumbles and inferences. And so the typical exam testing patterns, reading comfort is going to play a significant role, and this is something that you need to prepare for. Logical reasoning is there only in Rohtak, it's not there in the IIM Indore paper. They have blood relations and sense of direction, coding, decoding, standard set of things that you have to prepare for. This is going to be the easier section, but you need to have a degree of comfort and degree of familiarity with question types. You cannot say that I'm seeing this question type for the first time. You should have got doing the first 10 questions in syllogisms, and the 31st to 40th question in syllogisms are wildly different. So each of you should have done 25 to 30 questions of each of these question types before you go to the exam, so that once you see the question, the type and template automatically falls in place in your head and you can attack with gusto. You cannot be figuring out a template sitting inside the exam hall. Right? Super. JIPMAT is a whole separate exam. JIPMAT is an utterly more speed based exam. It's conducted by a separate agency. If you think about level of difficulty, IIM Indore, Rohtak, JIPMAT. IIM Indore is tough, challenging, high syllabus, more mathematical, more time pressure, more computational, each question slightly tougher, something there for at each question level. Rohtak, Quant is simpler, logical reasoning is simpler, verbal is more straightforward, more questions, but a simpler syllabus exam. In that straight line, you go one more step lower, we get JIPMAT. Even simpler exam, even higher scoring, you can do more questions per minute, but in the end, all of them are competitive exams. The level of difficulty is this pattern. Right? I'm not going to dive deeper into JIPMAT. I'm sure you can check it out online. Broadly, this is a tougher exam than this. The IPMAT exam, especially the Indore one, is far tougher than the JIPMAT one. Something to keep in mind. Now, this is super important. This is for IIM Indore. Right? The 3 sections: verbal ability, quantitative ability, 30 questions, and quantitative theta, 15 questions. Right? So, this is not a representative pie chart. We've deliberately put it like this just to showcase that we're not talking about 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Right? So, multiple reasons for this. One is, just because verbal has more questions, you cannot say I kill verbal, I'll waltz through this, because the scores get normalized. That's something to keep in mind. Second, in both of these quant sections, there is going to be a few questions that are mathematical, which is you cannot just say I'll try a few ratios, I'll go from answer choices, I'll plug this in, I'll see where it goes. You'll have to sit and solve based on ideas of mathematics that you learn in your class 11 and 12. Not simple ratio, numerical ability, not HCF, LCM, not fractions, not simplifications, none of that. Right? Heavy duty mathematical stuff gets tested in both places, both sections. More so here because it's type in the answer. With an MCQ format, I can still say, look, I'll play around, I'll substitute this answer choice, see if it works. And so here, that doesn't work. And so you'll have to figure out ways of knowing more mathematical stuff, more stuff which is heavy duty math, and super important to keep that in mind when you're going for this exam, which is probably why you will have to prepare for this exam. You cannot just go and wing it. Right? So the math part, there is one chunk which is aptitude math. Right? In percentages, profit and loss ratios, speed, time, distance, races, simple exponents, simple equation forming, averages, linear equations, all of that. And then this is closer to what is seen in JEE mains, not that difficult, not JEE advanced, not as tough as JEE mains, but at class 12 level with juicier. So if you think about class 12, JEE mains, JEE advanced, this one is between class 12 and JEE mains, bang in between, maybe slightly closer to class 12 level of difficulty wise, but you cannot go and wing it. And so this is the part where you will have to learn mathematics. This is there only for IIM Indore. IIM Indore is the most challenging exam. It is the most, it's the elephant in the room. It's a big thing. If you go get IIM Indore, you're going. If you go to get IIM both Gaya, you're thinking, okay, do I need to go there? And so IIM Indore is the mothership. It's the biggest, most prestigious college that offers this 5-year course. Right? So that's what all of us are aspiring for. Right? So that is a trickier exam, and this part of that exam is also tricky. So keep that in mind. And this is something that you need to prepare for. Right? In terms of the course that we offer, right? So lots of IPMAT courses do this, but you're learning a lot for 1 year, 6 months, 3 months, 4 months. And we do this is available, but we understand that this is the ball game. And so limits, continuity, matrices, determinants, conic sections, complex numbers, higher, tougher questions in quadratic equations, polynomials, those kind of questions where you cannot come and say use this method, substitute that formula. No, you have to learn from first principles what is the idea of continuity, and then add layer after layer to that, and then get exam ready. And so this is a part that if you ask me what are the crux of, what are the biggest differentiating factor in cracking this exam, for IIM Indore, it is going to be the strength in this part of the world. And this is something that we offer, and it is probably something that only we guys offer. And so keep that in mind. Anytime you're signing up for a course for IPMAT, make sure you go and check out previous year question solutions on the website or on YouTube, and make sure that you're joining whatever course you're joining that covers this part of the math and not this part of the math. Not just this part of the math. This is important. You cannot crack this exam without knowing this. But this is a starting step. And this is the real deal. Keep that in mind. So evaluate that element of understanding how IIM Indore Maths is more challenging is important. So, what are the typical cutoffs? I'm not going to go deeper into this because right now is probably not the time to think about overall exam taking strategy. Now is to say, hey, okay, I'm going to pick up a course, I'm going to learn all the bits and pieces, I'm going to take a few mocks, see where I stand, and then see what I have in this. And this is the cutoffs. These all keep varying year on year. This is not cast in stone. This is not super official information. This is something as a flavor. So if you're thinking about IPMAT, you should start with the course, you should learn, prepare, practice, and then closer to the exam, you say, okay, this is my strategy. This is what I am headed towards. I think I can, if I play my cards well, I think I can get 290, 300 marks in this IIM Indore paper, and this is how I'm going to get there. Right? So this is for stock taking later on. Right? So go through this, but this is not the crucial part when you are beginning this journey. Super. What do we offer? We offer a live course and a self-paced course. Right? So what do we offer in live course? We offer a power-packed session of classes every day, 5 days a week. We cover all the syllabus. We cover verbal ability. We cover quantitative aptitude. We cover logical reasoning, and we cover harder part of quantitative aptitude, which I can call, maybe for lack of a better word, mathematical. It's math and not numerical, simple quantitative aptitude. Right? So we cover all of these elements. We have a giant question bank. We do classes 6 hours a day for 25-30 days. Immediately after the board exams end, our course begins, and the course runs till about 4 days before your exam. So we'll cover everything in a classroom sitting here. It is live, and the backdrop for all of this is available as a series of recorded lectures. And if you prepare for this IPMAT set of exams, you're pretty much ready and geared for writing all other exams that come in that world. And so leave out JEE and NEET, but any other exam, you're ready for the aptitude, verbal ability, logical reasoning, quantitative aptitude, math, logical thinking, and verbal components of any exam that you need to write will get covered once, twice, thrice during this crash course. And so, the live classes we run for 5 to 6 hours per day, 6 hours per day, intense, and you can get every doubt clarified. You have a giant question bank. You have a huge library of videos to tap into. Whatever we do in a live class will also be automatically available as part of the self-paced course. So you attend a bunch of classes today, you want to revisit it, it's there. You're going to miss tomorrow's class, you want to study ahead of time today, it is there. The entire syllabus is available as a package in your hand ahead of time. And we add this as a series of intense live classes that are interactive, where you can get everything clarified, also available when you do this. The second variant is a self-paced course, where all the entire content gets covered. Entire content is reiterated multiple times over. We go from concepts to consolidation and to speed building and mocks. Everything, the whole thing, and it's available on a platter on day one, where you can prepare at 6 a.m. in the morning or 11 p.m. or afternoon 2 p.m. Throughout, it's available all the time. You can access this content anywhere, anytime, any number of times. You can learn at your own pace, super intensely, and get ready for the exam. The only thing difference between self-paced and live, the live classes, the content, the testing engine, the mocks, the teaching from first principles, the focus on fundamentals, all of those are there in both. And the self-paced course is part of the live online course. Only difference, we take live online also, then you have about 6 hours of classes every day. If you're saying, look, I don't know when I'll be free, I don't think whether I can attend this, I have a bunch of other exams to write also, I have other priorities, then you should take the self-paced course and give it a crack. Right? Lovely. Give me a second. Yeah. Give me the course outline as well, what is there sitting inside our live and self-paced courses. Wonderful set of exams to prepare for. Yeah, IPMAT is also a beautiful course. You're getting a chance to study in one of the premier institutes of the country, and being part of that alumni group and that setting, wonderful opportunity. So it's something that all 12th standard students should think about, should know about. If you're particularly keen to do engineering or medicine or commerce, then you should go that route. But if you feel like, look, I don't have a Banker preference, but studying in an IIM is fascinating for me, you should definitely jump in and check this out. Best wishes.